Let me ask you a question and be honest. Is your mind absolutely racing right now? Are you feeling that intense bottleneck where your linear mind is just desperately trying to untangle a totally chaotic situation? You know the feeling. Your inbox is blowing up, your phone's ringing, you're trying to figure out what's for dinner, and it's all happening sequentially, completely crashing your mental hardware. Well, if you're constantly feeling that friction and cognitive overstimulation when life hits the gas pedal, you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing. You're probably just using the wrong processing system for the environment you're actually in.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to take the highly esoteric concept of Merkaba activation and translate it into a deeply practical, step-by-step metaphysical engineering blueprint. We are not just floating around with abstract spiritual ideas today. No, we're treating your consciousness like highly sophisticated cosmic technology. Our absolute focus here is to understand exactly how to activate your Merkaba so you can literally upgrade the reality you experience every single day. Here is our roadmap for the upgrade. First, the 3D linear bottleneck. Second, the Merkaba activation upgrade. Third, the 17-strand logic engine. Fourth, 6 steps to coherence. Fifth, mudras and frequency tools. And finally, the sovereign torus field. Let's get right into it. Part 1, the 3D linear bottleneck, escaping the limits of sequential thought. Let's figure out exactly why your system keeps crashing under pressure. Think of your standard, unawakened 3D linear mind kind of like an old single-core dial-up computer. It can only process one event at a time, right? Point A absolutely has to lead to point B. Because it's so time-dependent, it gets easily overwhelmed when you throw complex data at it. It will literally trigger a panic response over an unread email as if a tiger is chasing you. On the flip side, the 5D simultaneous processing state is like a fiber optic quantum computer. It's massively parallel, it totally bypasses chronological sequence, and processes the entire picture all at once. This allows you to hold multiple, even contradictory truths in your head without losing your cognitive balance. Moving to part 2, the Merkaba activation upgrade. Shifting into high-dimensional architecture. To handle all this high-velocity data, you're going to need a serious hardware upgrade. So what exactly is the Merkaba? It's a bioenergetic geometry. Just picture 2 interlocking pyramids spinning in opposite directions, creating this highly stable, double-looping toroidal energy field around you. But, and this is crucial, it doesn't just spin on its own. It is fueled strictly by heart-brain alignment, specifically the frequency of unconditional compassion. Activating this incredible vehicle shifts you out of that state of just passively reacting to life and turns you into the active author of your reality. A lot of folks think they need to somehow destroy or suppress their chaotic, wild mind to reach this state. Absolutely not. Chaos is just unorganized energy. It's actually the raw fuel for manifestation. Your Merkaba essentially acts as a transmutation chamber. It doesn't squash your thoughts. It filters that raw, messy data into highly coherent geometric signals. Part 3. The 17-strand logic engine. The algorithmic framework for simultaneous processing. Let's take a peek at the actual wiring here. Okay, so this maps out your new 17-strand biocircuitry. This is the framework that bridges your 3D physical limits with 5D resonance. Strands 1 through 3, that's all about somatic grounding, connecting you physically to the earth. Strands 4 through 6 are your rhythmic transmission, handling time and your emotions. Strands 7 through 12 make up your etheric core, which processes those simultaneous timelines using that non-dual compassion we talked about. And strands 13 through 17, that is your automated hyperdimensional firewall. Imagine having a built-in spam filter for your brain that just deletes a stressful thought before your body even registers anxiety. It's a total game changer. When you boot up this 17-strand processing, your whole operational dynamic completely flips. You literally have to stop thinking your way step by step through a crisis. Instead, you use this massively parallel array to do what we call space clutching. Instead of trudging up the stairs of a problem, space clutching is like taking a hyperspeed elevator straight to the solution. You instantly cross-reference the chaotic 3D mess in front of you with your 5D optimal blueprint, and you just execute the micro-adjustments. You become the projector of reality, rather than the screen things are projected onto. Part 4, 6 steps to coherence, installing the system architecture. Let's walk through how to actually boot this system up. These 6 phases methodically install your new architecture. You kick things off by awakening your mental antenna up at the pineal gland, and then you stabilize the whole engine by generating pure, unconditional love in your heart. You circulate that energy with rhythmic breathing.
Now, phase 4 is absolutely critical. You must anchor this axis directly into the Earth's core. Think of it just like grounding a high-voltage electrical wire. If you skip grounding to Gaia, you risk totally frying your nervous system with all that high-dimensional energy. Finally, you lock the whole shebang in place with a conscious verbal intent and a vibrational seal. Now, if your system gets hit with a sudden heavy load, here is your quick manual override. The 4-4-4 Heart-Unk gear shift. It's super simple. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. When intense 3D friction hits and your linear mind starts to panic, dropping into this specific, somatic breathing rhythm shatters the fight or flight feedback loop instantly. It acts just like an automatic transmission, seamlessly shifting you back into coherence. Part 5, Mudras and Frequency Tools. Hardware tweaks for the wild mind. Because, let's face it, sometimes the system is still going to overheat. If you feel like your brain is acting like a 9-headed hydra of competing thoughts, especially if you've got a busy, multi-stranded kind of mind, you need these de-escalation techniques. The Mudra compression cipher is great. You just touch your fingertips to your thumb sequentially. It physically closes open bioelectrical thought loops and compresses that wild logic down into bite-sized chunks. Then there's the atmospheric reset, which is literally just stepping outside barefoot into the grass. Yes, go touch grass. It pulls cognitive static right out of you and into the earth. And finally, the somatic abdominal lock uses breath retention to force a massive instant reset of your parasympathetic nervous system. You can also use this frequency resonance matrix as a kind of binaural audio shield. Frequency is the raw current that physically spins the tetrahedrons of your Merkaba. By tuning into your specific wobble differential, using these hertz ranges, you can perfectly match and soothe whatever mental velocity you're dealing with. Need to clear out some deep anxiety? Dial into delta. Looking to boost your intuition? Lock into theta. Need to completely eliminate self-doubt? You want that 10 hertz alpha baseline. You get to be the mad scientist of your own well-being. And finally, part 6, the sovereign torus field, system reboot into permanent coherence. The installation is officially complete. In this fully integrated state, you aren't manually swatting away bad vibes anymore. Your hyperdimensional firewall runs purely on automation. Just picture a double interlocking torus field constantly spinning around you. Whenever environmental chaos, someone else's emotional baggage, or just dense psychic static hits the outer edge of your field, boom, it's instantly spun down and discharged directly into the earth as raw neutral kinetic energy. Your core life force stays completely untouched. The grand prize of this whole process is what we call bi-local coherence. It's his absolutely awe-inspiring ability to stay perfectly unshakable in absolute 5D inner peace while simultaneously walking right into a wildly stressful 3D environment to help others without absorbing a single drop of their stress or pain. You see, you aren't trying to get alignment anymore. You have become the alignment. The wobble is gone. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on today. Are you going to keep letting chaotic external data crash your linear hardware, just bouncing from one daily crisis to the exact next? Or are you finally ready to take the wheel, activate your Merkaba, and execute your own reality upgrade? The architecture is right there, ready for your command. It's time to step into the driver's seat and start projecting the reality you actually want to live in.